Why do women love interrupting?
Women love interrupting because it's a very supportive thing to do in a women's world. First of all, women have more communication centers in their brain. So they've actually done brain scans and seen how women have more communication centers. The centers are more active. They're active while they're thinking and processing. They can talk, listen, and process ideas at the same time. Men, when they're talking to each other, if they start thinking, they'll break eye contact and they'll pause, and then they'll go back to talking. So there's sort of this singular focus in a man's brain, whether I'm talking, or I'm thinking, or I'm listening. Those are three different departments. They work in different countries, and they have the telegraph in between them. So it's like they're completely different departments of what's going on. Either doing one or taking, and he can be very focused on one or the other. He can either listen, or he can think, or he can talk. Women do all three at once. And when they're doing all three at once, so that becomes very supportive because we're really connected. We're connected. Women are connecting to each other on three levels. We're listening to each other, we're talking to each other, and we're thinking about each other. And so there's this extra support that's happening. So when a man starts talking, a woman wants to interrupt because she says, I want to be connected. She's trying to connect. She wants to connect to the conversation. The problem is that interrupting a man is like cutting one of those telegraph wires between his thinking center and his talking center and his listening center, and he gets kerfuffled. And men don't like to get kerfuffled. It's like you spilled something on your shirt. You have a nice tie and you spilled something on your tie. So men don't like to be interrupted. So if you want to interrupt a man, there's a very easy way to do it.
Okay.
It's three little words. It goes like this. That's so interesting. He will stop talking right there because he's already won. As soon as he knows he's interesting, if you're interesting, if the husband is interesting, it means the wife is interested in him. It means you're interested. He's going to interrupt right there. That also works on a date also, for those people who are dating, on shidduchim, different things like that. If you say, that's so interesting, you'll get a chance to talk. Don't just jump in, because he doesn't need the support. He's not going to feel supported by you talking at the same time. Just as a side note, one time we used to run a student center at the University of Toronto, and one time there were students sitting there. There were 5 or 6 women sitting there talking at once, and all 5 or 6 women were talking at once. They were all talking and listening to each other, and I was sitting next to a student who was a man, and we were sitting, and I looked over and I said to that student, I have no idea who's talking to who. It was unclear who was talking to who because they were all talking at the same time, all 6 of them, and were talking at the same time and listening at the same time. So that kind of ability to communicate, that is a skill that women have had for thousands of years, because women, in order to survive in the wild and more primitive societies, needed to build community. How do you build community? With excellent communication skills. So women's brains are built to be excellent communicators, to multitask in communication. Men can also be great communicators, but one type of communication at a time. Thinking, listening, or talking.